Tucked away in the misty hills of Orcas Island, where the Salish Sea meets the wilds of the Pacific Northwest, lies a homestead unlike any other. Built by visionaries, shaped by resilience, and rooted in deep ecological wisdom, this land is alive with intention. From gravity-fed water systems to gardens that mimic the forest floor, the Bullock Brothers didn't just build a homestead, they sparked a movement. You're about to witness one of the living legends of American permaculture. Let's go. How did you end up in Orcas Island?
We had some relatives from the area. We had a great-grandfather homesteaded in Anacortes, 1840. We had come up camping as kids, and we knew the area a little bit. We just liked it here. It was very abandoned at that point. Yeah, we've worked in Amazon Basin, Fiji, Costa Rica, Greece. I lived in California, Hawaii, New Zealand, Australia, and I've worked all over Latin America and, worked in the tropics my whole life, whole adult life. We had a grandfather who was very influential. He'd been very poor as a kid, traveled the world, and wanted to make sure that nobody was ever hungry at his house. So he grew everything. But he had a huge garden, he'd work in it every day, and he hunted and fished. And then we grew up in a Mediterranean climate. We were some of the first people doing permaculture in the Americas.
How young were you then? In your 20s?
Yeah, 23. It was 1979, I think.
Oh, wow.
So then we hosted what I believe is the first permaculture course in the Americas, was in Hawaii, on Maui. It was at Jack Lewin's place at a hospital called Kulasan that had 400 acres.
What is this property? Where are we? What are we on?
We're on a property where we own 10 acres and we've had a lease arrangement on another 14 or so. It's like a loose boundary of a neighbor who liked what we did. We're in the southwest end of Orcas Island. We get about 19 inches of rain a year.
So that's not very much.
No. Well, we're in a rain shadow. The Olympic Mountains get all the rain and we're in the lee side of it.
So you have to do a lot of water strategy.
Yeah, it's been a big part here is our irrigation systems.
What did you guys do?
Right over here, there's a 20-acre wetland. There was a ditch to drain wetlands for farming. It had been farmed for about 80 years and then abandoned for about 40 years. And we just blocked the ditch.
What's this guy?
This is a fuzzy kiwi. And we had a very cold winter a couple years ago. It took a big hit, was a lot healthier. This one vine, though it looks unhealthy from the freeze, regularly produces 250 pounds of fruit. It was bigger, it got damaged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but 250 pounds of fruit from that vine.
What kind of earthworks have you incorporated here?
A lot of terraces. There's some ponds up the hill. The property has about a 140-foot rise from the bottom to the top.
Wow. Is there water up there?
Yes.
So you can just basically store it and run gravity?
There's a 26,000 gallon, that's a 100,000 liter water tank.
Whoa.
And several subsequent tanks.
And you basically collect rainwater?
This collects our rainwater.
Okay.
It's a 20-acre wetland, you'll see it. And depends on the winter. The daytime temperatures are like low 40s, nighttime temperatures somewhere down to light frosts. 2 years ago we went to 5 degrees down at that house, which was 10 degrees colder than it had ever been before. Typically our 5-year low is 17 degrees.
Okay. So that puts you at like a zone 9?
Used to be zone 8.
Zone 8.
But the fact that it went to 5, it'd never done that before. So
Wow.
a lot of damage.
Was it just an Arctic blast?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And most parts of the island are more exposed than we are. We're pretty good. South and west. Well, we have a bunch of different plums and peaches, fernwood gojies, and desert king figs. And then you can see there's rosemary and some barberries and black currants and mulberry rootstock. That's that miyoga ginger from Japan.
Whoa. I'll have to grow this in a greenhouse.
They're pretty tough. You might not need to.
These ones can go outdoor?
You have to check. They're pretty tough.
Wow. Hardy ginger.
Zinzibur miyoga. They're amazingly tough. I don't know what'll kill them, but
Where can people buy your nursery stock?
here.
They'll come to the island.
Yeah, people on the islands mostly.
Okay.
Sometimes people come from the mainland and buy stuff, but we were just upgrading here last couple of days. We used to have solar pumps and we're moving them back from the water a little bit. And we just tied in a pipe and changed things around, moved the solar array out a little bit. We were just working on this yesterday. See, this used to be all cattail and bulrush. There's one lone cattail over there, you see it?
Yeah.
And it's just getting replaced. So we're putting an array out here where it's more sun. This is you've heard of chinampas?
Yeah.
You're standing on one.
Oh, no way.
This is an island we built. They're just artificial islands where you grow stuff in black muck. It's all black muck lifted from the canal right there. This is the old drainage ditch here. We just made it bigger. See, it's pump intakes.
Yeah, this is a ton of water. If this is 20 acres, you guys have all the water you need.
Yeah.
And it seems like we're in a tropical place here. I mean, look, what are these giant leaves?
These are huki or fuki, and they are a perennial vegetable from Japan. People eat the stalks. And hidden in here, though, one of the great things about these is they exclude running grasses. The reed canary grass, it's often choking wetlands. This will just shade it right out. And you know Guavina avenala? It's one of your paisanos from Chile and Argentina. So it's a Chilean macadamia nut.
Look at this little guy.
Yeah, we have depressingly few of those anymore. See that little tree?
Yeah.
So that's a technique. It's an old piece of wood, like plywood, oriented strand board, and it acts as a mulch to push this. It's rotting anyway, and it's to push the huki back, create a little shady spot for that to come up. And people don't know about it much, but it used to be a big deal. So this way they come up in the shade. These all fall away in the fall. These are going to drop to the ground. The plant slowly gets tougher and tougher. And it'll emerge and it'll keep all the grass away from it. And then the pawpaw tree here coming out of this. This is a Pennsylvania golden variety. You know, we have a bunch of different grafted varieties, but this one will ripen all of its fruit. And this Cornelian cherries.
Oh, I've heard of these. Are they any good?
They are. They're the kind of thing, you know, one of the names for them is sorbet. And the original dessert came from this fruit. Wow. This is something, the wood is so hard, was used by the Romans because they used it for shields and daggers and armor and lances and chariot parts, and very hard wood. The whole Roman Empire, they're very common in Europe. And this variety, elegant, which is sort of bottle shaped, the thing is that they get ripe and full. They're not like an apple, you pick it off the tree and it's great, except for just a very narrow window.
So it has no commercial value, so that's why we don't see it.
No, I think it has a lot of commercial value.
But just like the harvest, like you can't have it fresh at a store.
It's not going to be an apple or an orange in a store. I mean, honeyberries aren't commercial here, but they're commercial other places. These are commercial in Europe. So you see the concentrates and the desserts commonly. You know, originally, as I mentioned in loquats, we brought seeds from the best plants friends could get. Israel, Spain, California, Hawaii, Mexico, Japan, bunch of places, Australia, New Zealand. You know, we used to think if the current wave of immigration had been from Asia like the past wave instead of from Europe, we would have all, you know, kiwis and persimmons and mulberries and loquats. Right. They all grow great here, you know, it's like, but finding the right varieties and all that kind of thing, and Asian pears and all that stuff didn't come in that last way. 100 years ago, didn't come, different group of people. This is getting into the kind of the edge of our wetland. So there was no water here when we came.
Are there any snake issues?
No, there's some little garter snakes.
And these are just sticks you have?
Hazel.
Hazelnuts.
Yeah. You should look at my wife's website. It's a swampsticks.com. And she's a master basket weaver. She's from Poland, and she teaches basket weaving, has apprenticeships, sells baskets, and she grows a lot of hazel and willow, and uses the wetland materials too, the cattails and the bulrush. So these are aronias. We have quite a few aronias in different places, and of course they fill up. September, it'd be great. And look at there's Canadian geese, little goslings out there. Can you see that? This is all geese poop. This goes underwater a little bit in the winter. If it freezes, we'll ice skate from here. Make a fire, and neighborhood kids that come over, neighborhood adults, and people ice skate. And these islands that you see are all built by hand out here. And it was originally done to give more safe habitat for waterfowl. So the raccoons can't get out to an island very well. And then their eggs are safe. These are a common landscape plant, but people don't think of the berries.
What is this?
There's a bunch of them in Asia. They were Mahonia. This is one called Mahonia bealii, and this is a hybrid called Charity. But they're used in Chinese medicine and Native American medicine. and traditional Western American herbology, but they're pretty good, and some of them are excellent. The Beely Eye is my favorite so far, but some of them get 30 feet tall, and
You can eat the berries?
yeah,
What do they taste like?
they're probably a little tart right now because this is in the shade, but try one. Get the most purple ones. They're tart, medicinal. Some of them get quite sweet.
They taste like honeyberries.
Yeah, some get quite sweet. Some of them are like, hey, these are great.
This is where you do your grafting, looks
You
like?
know, mulberries, peaches, and persimmons need extra heat. There just happens to be some pears and stuff in here. I started grafting in here to get more heat for the peaches, persimmons, and mulberries. These are some lotus persimmons. They're like from Turkey to Western Asia. And over there they have selected varieties, and here, not so much. We have mostly seedlings are used for rootstock. Like the fruit quality isn't that good, but I need a source of rootstock seed. And I have a couple planted out, but I'm gonna put a couple more
And you can't
out.
use regular persimmon? American persimmon?
These are better roots for around here.
Okay.
It's a massive black roots. You know,
Oh, wow.
persimmons are ebony family,
No, I didn't know that.
and most of the American persimmons were cut down for golf clubs and piano keys.
Wow.
Super hard wood, and it used to be called blonde ebony. Here's a squirrel planted walnut. I don't know if you noticed, squirrel planted walnuts grow way faster than anything we can do.
It's like they know where to put them.
Exactly. And I don't know what they do, little squirrel urine, or I don't know what they do to them, but they sure grow better.
The focus is guilds, right? Here?
Well, this is a food forest, actually, but not the one people think of. In this climate, food forest with apple, pears, and plums is not the way to go. More drier climate? Sure. Here, too much humidity
You don't get a lot of rain, but you have a lot of air humidity.
in the winter, and you get all this fungal stuff that moves. So the dominant trees have got these monkey puzzles everywhere.
From Chile?
Argentina and Chile.
Oh, wow.
So they're planted as single trees, you see, in front of Victorian-style houses.
Yeah.
The male and female are in separate plants. And so if you don't have a group of them, you don't get pollen and you don't get nuts. They're a nut tree.
Interesting.
These were a staple food of tribes of native people. We've got native huckleberries, so we're using the stuff from the food forest around here. Darwin barberry from Chile and Argentina, edible berries.
And what's incredible, unless you have someone like you guiding you through this, you would not think this is food production.
You know, what happens typically, people from rich agriculture areas will look at land like this and think it's totally useless. But if you travel, you see there's villages that live in places that look way worse than this, and they don't have anything this nice in their whole village. So you figure, how do you make it productive? People live in your shittiest land. People live in climates just like that. Whole villages. So
Yeah.
what do you do?
You got to figure it out. Is this your solar pump here?
100,000 liters.
You guys built this?
Yeah. It fills up from solar pumps. We have a gasoline pump, we can do it too, but last year I don't think we used it. Like if a pump was down, if we had a fire, we might do the fire in the winter, we might run the gas pump.
Oh, I see.
Because it puts a lot of water up here.
If it'll fill up in a day?
Oh yeah, a few hours.
Wow, that's a lot.
But with this pumps, it'll take 3 days maybe to fill up with the solar pumps.
Okay.
We're adding another one now.
So this is
Yeah, we've
enough
done
water.
Water systems everywhere. So we've got often two sources of ag water and a domestic water. So if one system went down, we could switch on another tank or another pump, or if we had to use domestic water for ag, we could.
Okay.
Or for fire, we can turn this into drinking water through a slow sand filter too.
Oh, nice. Just straight, that's all you need.
Yeah, it gets a little tanniny, but it's safe. So
Okay.
then you run it through a charcoal filter. So this is kind of a little bit of industrial area. This was a salvage building, was on a barge. People said I could have it if I could move it. It's off-grid, and we've got a metal shop and a wood shop that are all off-grid here. It was a library upstairs and a wood shop downstairs and a metal and mechanic. Though right now my son's living up there, and some of these are my rigs and some of those are his. You can see I like the older stuff.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Look at that. This is really cool.
It's a 49 Studebaker, and this is a 47 Willys. And I think that's an old 50 International dump truck, and then the Jeep is, I think, 76.
The paint looks like it's been kept up with.
Yeah, well, this paint was repainted about 15 years ago.
Do you use these every now?
They're my regular daily drivers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No way.
Yeah. This is my son's service truck.
Nice little diesel, 7.3.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Turkish tree hazels, grafted black walnut. There's some pears and cornelian cherries back there, and then plums. And it's an almond, a little bit of peach leaf curl, and then the cornelian cherries. The idea was you could have snack fruits while you were repairing something in the shop.
Wow.
And you wouldn't have to go down for lunch. You could just, if you're in the groove and just
Let's
making something. And this is my electric car.
Oh, nice. In case the grid fails.
Yeah, I'm upgrading it right now to lithium.
So you've been teaching permaculture for a long time?
Yeah. Early 80s.
80s.
Did some teaching with Bill Mollison back in the day.
This island is fascinating. Like just looking up ahead on that mountain,
Yeah.
it just looks so dry.
So at the bottom is walnuts. The soil gets deeper and moister, so there's walnuts at the bottom, and we're experimenting with the selected honey locust for pods in here, and there's some hybrid oaks in the back, and then these are row mulberries along the road. A lot of people walk this road, so I figured we'd put mulberries people can eat on their way by. There's a couple of plums, those beach plums up there, so some snack fruits as people walk by. These are the Portuguese superhero, autumn olive, and they get really big. You can see these were very slow. They really want more heat here, honey locusts.
They do so well in Colorado, you couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I believe it. I've seen them.
They do just...
They're slow here. You can see there's some that are really tiny, too, that are doing okay. We got these guys up, and you can see what the black locust did. That was from an earlier incarnation.
What's your goal with all of this? Just to spread permaculture, to live the lifestyle? Like, what is your hope?
Part of it was just a new model for living in the islands. Like, I always like to think about, like, if you had to live here like it really mattered. Like, we're on an island. If there was no trucks coming, like people have for all time, they relied on the resources they had, what would it be? And how do you know if you don't experiment? Right now, we're in a point in time where we can experiment, right? We can say, well, let's try these and let's try those. We still have food supplies, and we have global access to genetics. It's like, we don't know what's going to be best. You know, the Europeans came in and they tried one thing, and that was it. It kind of stopped in the Depression. And then it's like, well, when we came here, there's no figs and peaches on the island. You know, there's figs and peaches, mulberries and persimmons and all kinds of stuff. A lot of people have figs now. And that's one of the beauties of having a nursery. You're not afraid of your $50 plant going in. You could make 100 of them, put them in all over, give them away like zucchinis. Pretty soon, you have more feedback information. Hey, they work great here, not so good there. That kind of thing.
What would you tell somebody that's young?
Try and develop as many skills as you possibly can. If you want to live any kind of rural lifestyle, you want as many skills as you possibly get.
I know you guys were big on the internship program. Is that settled down now?
It's smaller. It's still going.
And people can apply online?
No. They have to call me.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not up to date on our internet.
The phone number?
Bullock's Permaculture, you'll find it.
Okay.
I think it was called Permaculture Portal.
If I was 22, I would kill to be here. Like the amount you learn here, I had to learn over 10, 15 years by myself.
I know there was no place like this.
Yeah, there isn't. Yeah.
And maybe there is now, but I haven't seen it.
It's hard because it also takes 20 to 30 years to get what you have. You know, like I'm building a permaculture paradise in the desert, and I hope you're around in 15 years to see it.
And right now we got new birds and new rodents and new mammals. I mean, just like new stuff moving in, which changes everything. New bugs. Like we planted all these nuts kind of on the edge, and we didn't have an eastern gray squirrel, and our native squirrel doesn't eat nuts. No problem. Stick walnuts in, chestnuts, whatever. New squirrel, they jump from tree to tree. So now you got to put your walnuts out in the middle of a field. So the squirrel has to go down from the conifers, zoom across the field where a raptor can get them to get to the walnuts. They don't do that.
Wow.
So then you get walnuts. But the whole design parameters have changed because of a new squirrel.
Wow.
And that's happening to people all over the planet. Like new stuff, it's completely different.
I mean, that boils down to the other part, which is this is generational work.
Yeah.
It's not.
Absolutely.
And you work with other nurseries too, if people can't come here to buy them in person.
And most of the nurseries in the Northwest, they were sort of permaculture oriented. They were all friends of ours. We all started at the same time. We've known each other for 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah, all of them.
Hope you guys enjoyed today's tour. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.